This conference will now be recorded.
Right, let's start today's session. Right, let's start today's session. In the last session of Python, we were discuss about functions with different types of arguments. Functions with different types of arguments. So, what are the different types of arguments we were discussed in functions when seen? So, 4 types of arguments already we discussed: positional arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, and then variable length arguments. Okay, these are the 4 types of arguments we were discussed. Today we'll see 2 more types of arguments, that is position only arguments and keyword only arguments. So we can see positional only arguments, and keyword only arguments. Keyword only arguments, we can say. Positional only arguments, keyword only arguments. Positional only arguments means what? If we create a function with positional only arguments, when we call that function, we should supply only positional arguments. That function will not work when we supply keyword arguments. Similarly, when we create a function with keyword only arguments, when we call that function will work only with keyword only arguments, no positional arguments. But how to declare a function with positional only arguments? How to declare a function with keyword only arguments? We'll check it once. So let us consider this example. Test 6 I'm taking. This is my example program. Positional only arguments I'm taking here. Positional only arguments. How to declare a function with positional only arguments? Let us consider this function first. Add function. Add is having 2 parameters, A and B, and I'm trying to print this A plus B, and here you can see I'm calling the function with 1020. So it will work. This is positional only positional arguments, no? Yes. So positional arguments working fine. Positional arguments I'm passing. So working fine, 10 plus 20, 30. And now I'm calling this same function with keyword arguments. Now you can see keyword arguments, I'm saying that. Keyword arguments means what actually here? If I say that A value key, like A equals to, A is a key, keyword arguments, A I'm taking. You can see, open bracket, just observe it. Add of A is a key equals to 10. B is a key equals to 20. Now you can see this is what keyword arguments. A and B are the keywords. The arguments which are passed to a function with the help of key. Okay, this is called keyword arguments or yes. So this function is going to work with both the ways. Like you can pass with positional arguments and as well as you can pass with keyword arguments. Both the ways it is working or not. Yes. But I want to make this function to accept only positional arguments only. Yes. How we can create a function to accept only positional arguments. Okay. Let me show you. So to accept only positional arguments, now at this time, in this case, the function is going to accept both, sir. Positional arguments it is accepting and keyword arguments it is accepting. So both the ways it is accepting clear. Hello, Samatha, can you please switch off your webcam? Hello. Yeah. See here, once again, I'm telling you, this function is going to accept positional arguments as well as keyword arguments. Both are accepting here in this case. Now you can see. But I want to create this function only to accept positional only arguments. Positional only arguments means it will work only with positional arguments. How we can say? After creating parameters of the function, we can use slash. Whenever I use slash after parameters, then this function will accept only positional arguments. Means this will only work. This will not work. So now let me comment this one. I am passing positional arguments. It's working fine. And whenever I call the function with the keyword arguments, now you can see if I pass the function with keyword arguments, now what will happen in this case? Now you can see type error, add function got some positional only arguments, passed as keyword arguments, it is saying. That is not correct. Add function got some positional only arguments, passed as a keyword arguments only. So this function is only accept positional arguments because I declare such a way that like a comma b after slash I'm using. This indicates that this declaration, this function can accept only positional arguments like this. When we pass to this function keyword arguments, it will not work. So after declaring a function, after giving the variables and parameters, and you have to use what symbol actually? Slash symbol. When we use slash symbol, then it will consider as a positional only argument. So next, keyword only arguments are. Keyword only arguments means what? If you create a function with keyword only arguments, and that function will accept only keyword arguments, not positional arguments. How to create function with keyword arguments? Let's see this. I'm going to take one more example, test 7. Now this time you can see I'm declaring a function with keyword only arguments acceptance. The keyword only arguments means this is. Hello, Samantha, can you please mute your audio? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you please mute your audio?
Okay, sir. Sir, network problem.
So now coming to this here, I want to declare this function as a keyword only arguments. How to declare this function as a keyword only arguments means before parameters, you should use asterisk symbol, star symbol. Then that this indicates that this function will accept only keyword arguments, no positional arguments. Means this will only will work. You can see add function a value 10, b value 20. So a is a keyword, b is a keyword. 10, 20 are the values only. So whenever we call this function with positional arguments, this will not work, sir, because you declare a function to accept only keyword arguments. So add function takes 0 positional arguments, but you are given 2 positional arguments are there here. That is not correct. So these two also under comes into types of arguments of the functions. If we want to create a function for accept only positional arguments, not accept keyword arguments, then we can create a function like this, add a comma b slash symbol you have to use. And if you want to create a function to accept keyword arguments, not on positional arguments, then you can see this function you need to create like this: a comma b. Before we have to use star. Star means this indicates that it will accept only keyword arguments, not positional arguments. So these two also arguments are the types of arguments. Like this you can able to. And sir, can I give positional as well as keyword arguments like this? No, this is not correct. Star a comma b slash, not correct, sir, because it is ambiguity completely. Ambiguity means syntax error it is. So you can make either positional arguments or keyword arguments. We cannot make both only. Invalid syntax clear. Got my point? So this is the case. Next, coming to this is complete functions with the types of arguments. Now I'm talking about here function aliasing concept. Function aliasing means what? Giving other name to a function is called function aliasing. Giving other name to a function is called function aliasing. So why we should give alias name to the function star? Already when we create a function, we will mention with the proper name only. So again, why we should give a separate name? Yes. Sometimes what will happen, if you delete a name of the function or definition of the function, when we try to call with that name, that function will not call because function definition was deleted. Even though function definition deleted, if you want to still call that function, then you can have the other name. So through other name, we can able to call that. Through other name, we can able to call that. Okay. So let's try to do this. So function aliasing concept I'm taking. Giving other name to a function is called function aliasing. Alias means what? Other name or new name of the function. Let's try with function aliasing example. That is very simple. Suppose here I have a function called f1. Whenever we call this function f1, I can say that hello, and I'm calling the function like this f1. So f1 function I'm calling, this function logic is working. For example, if I try to delete this f1 function here on del f1, yes, we can delete the function definition also. After deleting the function definition, whenever you try to call this f1 function, is this possible to work? No. Name error. F1 is not defined, it is saying. F1 is not defined means what? F1 function is not defined. No definition of the function F1 because we deleted function F1 here itself. Again, you cannot call. So that's the reason what I'm trying to say. If we give the alias name, suppose alias name in the sense like F2 equals to F1. I'm assigning this F1 name to F2 only here. So now this time we can call a function with F1 name and function with alias name also. Your alias name is what? F2 only. Let's try to call this function with alias name. Once I run this, now you can see here, hello and hello both are coming. F1 through I'm getting this one and F2 through I'm getting this one only. Okay. So this is function aliasing clear. F2 equals to F1. F1 function calling, F2 function calling. Both are getting like this. Even in this case, if I delete one definition of the function like del F1, I'm deleting F1. So after deleting F1, when we call F1 function, it will not work obviously because the name F1 was deleted. But you can have the facility to call the function with F2 name, means other name through we can able to call. Already we mentioned this function name, other name called F2. This is alias name. Once we delete the name of the function, we have alias name to call the same function only. Yes, we have alias name only. No? F2 is alias name. We are calling this function same. F2 is alias name. Okay. So this is the case. F1 function we are deleting. F2 function we are calling. So this name is called alias name. That is F2 is alias name. Other name of the function only. So there is no much more advantage. But in case if there is no function definition available, if you want to call the same function with other name, you can call it. But here one thing I want to tell you, F2, F1, both are having same identity. That's what you can call a function with F1 name or F2 name. Yes, both. You can call a function with F1 name or F2 name, anyone. Both are working fine. The reason is here, the identity of F1 and identity of F2 both are same, sir. How to find identity of any object in Python? ID function is there, print F1. Again here ID function is there, F2 here I'm taking. Print ID of F1, ID of F2 only here. F1, F2 like this. Once I run this, now you can see we got the output here. So this identity of F1 is same and identity of F2 also same, sir. Both identity is same or not? Yes, both identity is same. Hello and hello we are getting. That's the reason when we delete one name of the function, we are calling the same function with other name like F2 also, sir. Okay, we are calling with other name like F2 also. So this is function aliasing. And coming to this, nested function is there. Nested function means a function which is having one or more functions within it is called nested function. A function which is having which is having which is having one or more functions, one or more functions within it is called nested functions. Is called nested function. A function which is having one or more functions within it is called nested function. How to call the nested function is important. Let's try to call f work with nested function. For example, f1 is one function and print hello, I can say that. Again, I'm calling f1 function, f1 will work. But inside the f1 function, I include one more function, sir. What is that? F2, for example, df f2. When I call f2 function, I can say that hi. So now observe carefully. F2 function I'm taking, F1 function and F2 function is there. But sir, F2 function here we should call? No, that is not correct. So F2 function calling place is not correct. Just observe here because F2 function is belongs to F1. Means indentation, you can see in this indentation level only, we declared this F2 function. So this F2 function is belongs to what? F1 only. So F2 function where we should call? Here, inside the F1 only, we should call in this position. Okay. So this is nested function calling. Nested, a function which is having one or more functions within it. Suppose first I'm calling what? F1 function. F1 it will call and F1 will execute. After executing, it look forward to F2 function, but F2 where we have to call? We have to call here and it will execute like this. So we can include more functions inside one function also. Yes, we can include. Suppose if I don't call F1, what will happen? F2 also will not execute, sir, because F2 is fully dependent on F1 only. Yes, obviously. So F2 will not, if I don't call F1 function, F2 will not execute, undoubtedly. Now you can see there is no calling of F2. F1 function compulsory how to call. Then only F2 will work. Like, and one more function I include here. Inside the F2 also, I can include F3, just and print welcome and take welcome. Now you can see F3 function I'm taking. F3 function. So F3 function I'm calling. F1 function I'm calling, F2 function I'm calling. All the calling away clearly. So three functions are working. F3 is depending on F2, sir. F3 is depending on F2. F2 and F3 is depending on F1 only. If I don't call F1, then no function will execute because this is the main function like F1 only. To work with other function, we must and should call F1 function first of all. If we don't call F1 function, then there is no working of F1, F2 and F3. Next, for example, here I'm just taking comment this one. I'm not calling F2 function. If we don't call F2 function, then F3 also will not work, obviously. You can see F3 also will not work. Help. So this is nested function calling. If you have to know the syntaxes, okay, Sometimes we use in object-oriented programming this nested functionality is also a function which is having one more function within it. So you just keep it is this scenario. Then we will use in later upcoming sessions this kind of functionalities here, calling of nested function, all those things. And there is recursion is the recursion concept. Recursion means what? Recursion function, the name of the function is not recursion. I'm saying recursion means a function which always call itself every time is called recursion. A function which is going to be called always itself every time is called recursion mechanism. The best example of recursion is factorial. Suppose factorial of given number. For example, factorial of n equals to, the formula is n into factorial of n minus 1. This is the formula. Suppose I want to find factorial of 3 equals to 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1. How much it is? 2 only. Factorial of 3 equals to 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1. Next, 3 into factorial of 2 means what? 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1. So factorial of 2 minus 1, how much it is? 1. Next, 3 into 2 into factorial of 1 means what? 1 into factorial of 1 minus 1. Factorial of 1 minus 1, that is 0. Now you can see 3 into 2 into 1 into factorial of 0 is always 1. So the result is what actually? 3 into 2 into 1 into 1, 6. According to this formula. This formula based I'm telling you, but I have to write a logical programming for this factorial of finding any number, given number. So in this case, every time the factorial function will call itself only. For factorial of 2, factorial of 1, factorial of 0, we are calling repeatedly the same function. This type of scenario is called what actually? Recursion. Recursion means a function that calls itself every time is called recursion. Suppose here I'm taking factorial functions of factorial of n. Okay, factorial of n. I'm giving pass. I'm not going to use this one. N means we can able to pass the value for this factorial function. I'm printing here factorial of 3 is just I'm calling the function factorial of 3 only. So now I have to write the logic here. What logic? If n equals to 0, sometimes factorial of 0 we have to write that. Okay. So I want to return result equals to 1 only. Always result equals to what actually? 1. Result equals to 1. Result equals to 1. Else part I'm taking. Else result equals to n into factorial of n minus 1. And return result, we can say that. Return result. Now observe here. So we are calling the factorial of 3 sir here. We are calling factorial function. We are calling factorial function factorial of 3. Whenever it is going to call n value, how much it is? 3 sir. And this will check the condition. 3 equal to 0. No, it's not correct. It's not correct means it will go to wait else part only. In else part, n value 3. 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1. Factorial of 3 minus 1, how much it is? 2 only. Again, for factorial of 2 purpose, it will call the function n value now this time 2. 2 equal to 0, not correct. It will come to else part. N value 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1, it is what? 1 only. So factorial of 1 purpose, again it will call n value 1 only now this time. 1 equal to 0, not correct. 1 into factorial of 1 minus 1, 0. Factorial of 0 purpose, again it will call n value 0. 0 equal to 0, correct. Result will be stored 1 only. After that, it will go to else part and it will return the result completely to the calling place only. So every time the function is calling itself again and again, this nature is called what actually? Recursion, we can call it as. What is this? Recursion mechanism. Recursion means a function that calls itself every time is called recursion. Okay, let's run this. Factorial of finding 3 numbers is 6 only. So let's keep the breakpoint here. and how it will be executed. You can see this. Now debug test 8. Debug test 8, factorial of n, function key plus F8, function key plus F8. Now against factorial of 3, n value 3, 3 equal to 0, not correct. False it is. Whenever it is false, control jump into where? Factorial of n into factorial of n minus 1. N minus 1, how much it is? 2. Factorial of 2. For finding factorial of 2, then it will go to 2, n value 2, 2 equal to 0. It's not correct. And again, you can see the result equals to 2 minus 1. Factorial of 2 minus 1. Factorial of 2 minus 1 is 1 only. So you can see factorial of 2 minus 1, 1. Now in n value 1, 1 equal to 0. Now you can see 1 equal to 0 false. Whenever we hit the function key plus F8, factorial of 1 minus 1, 0. Factorial of 0 purpose also it has to call the function. Again, n value 0. Now you can see n value 0. 0 equals to 0 true. Result is what? Actually 1. And it will return result to the calling place while calculating 1 into 2 into 3. Total value is what? Actually 6 only. 6 value will be returned to the calling place. In the console window, we got the output here. Factorial of 3 is 6 only. Okay. This is the finding of factorial of given number. So it is a recursion mechanism. But actually in Python programming, if you want to find the factorial of given any number, you need not to write this logic. No need. The reason is what? Yes, there is a built-in module is there. There is built-in module is there. What is built-in module? This is import math module is there. Math. Math is a mathematical module. This module is used to what we can say work with mathematical function. Those who wants to work with mathematical operation, those who want to perform mathematical operations, then they will use directly in Python math module. Using this math module, directly we can able to find any mathematical operation. For example, math dot factorial is a built-in function of 3 means you will get output clearly. Did I write any logic here? No logic I have written, sir. Okay, 6 is there. Suppose factorial of not only factorial. So let me copy this. Math dot square, math dot square, math dot square, square root. I'm taking 4. So these are the functions, math dot square root function, and print mathematical library, that is module dot power is there, POW power 3 comma 2, 3 to the power of 2, and next print math dot seal function is there. Sealing means increment. Like for example, 34.2 in the sense it will increment, it will round up 35 only, because 34.2 seal means 35 only will be there. It will be round up only. Next print math dot floor. I'm taking floor, FLO or floor. 43.8 means or 6 means it is floor. Floor means reduce. 43 will be written. These are all built-in function. Not only this, there are so many functions are there. Sine function, cos function, tangent function, all these things. Okay, let's run this. We got the output clearly. Factorial of 3 is 6. Square root of 4 is 2.2. Power is 3 to the power of 2 is 9. 34.4, 34.2 seal value is what? 35 is incremented. Floor means what? It will reduce. 43 round up. These are all. But sir, why every time the function is preceded with math module? Yes, module name dot function name we have to use. The reason is we imported math like this. And we can give alias name of the module also. Math as M I'm taking. Import math as M means we can use alias name only. M dot and M dot here like this. So I'll talk about these modules in coming session so that you'll understand clearly what is module, how to work with modules. Module aliasing means what? You will understand clearly. So M dot factorial, this will also. Sir, can't we use directly factorial or square root or power like this without using this one? alias name, no alias name, no alias names here. It's possible, sir. But you have to declare module in different style only. How to declare module in different style, we'll see. So this module you have to declare like this: math, from math, import, import, what actually? From math import star, from math import star, sir. So once we use this from math import star, star means everything will come from this math module. And this kind of syntax importing style is used to directly access the functions. No need to use any module name dot function name, module name dot function name like this. Directly you can able to use this. Okay, this is case. So factorial, square root, power, ceiling, floor, all these things. Okay. So these are all complete functions concept. So I have to start next topic, that is anonymous functions or lambda functions. Anonymous or lambda expressions, lambda expressions. So this we will discuss in tomorrow's session, sir. Okay. So because immediately at 8 o'clock I have to start new batch of Django. Please join 8 o'clock, at which I have already sent a new link for you. Okay. So you people got the link. You can join today first session of Django, and we'll discuss Django with REST API that 8 a.m. also. Your session will be continued as usual. Daily you have to come 7 a.m. for Python and 8 a.m. for Django for few days. Once I complete Python, then you can focus on only 8 a.m. only. So I strongly recommend, okay, to attend, because for those who enroll especially for Python package course, I recommend to you to attend regularly for Django also at 8 a.m. Now I'm closing now because my health is too bad actually. So I need to take some tea or something. I need to ready for next session 8 a.m. So please join on 8 at 8 a.m. on not this link. Okay, I sent already link to your mails. That was registration link. You can join on that link only. Please go with it. 8 a.m. we'll meet again.